Hey, welcome back to BLOCKTV. I'm Zachy Hennessey, and I've got something interesting to show you. As pointed out in this tweet, after 2 years, the search term for Bitcoin has finally surpassed that for stocks on Google. And as I'll soon show you, that is true. But I'm going to do my best to give you more information than just that, because I am what some might say is a good journalist. I'm what others might say is an overbearing personality who looks into things too much. But that's neither here nor there. Let's take a look at some charts. Here we've got the Google Trends results for the term Bitcoin. Now we're looking at August 5th, which is my birthday, in case you were curious, until today, which is very close to my birthday, in case you were curious. Now, as you'll notice, it's relatively static for a long time until about April, May, when interest starts to climb, no doubt as a result of the end of crypto winter, when Bitcoin took off from 3,000, went up to 4, and then, on and on. Here we are today. Now, it seems to have petered out a little bit since its peak in late June, which is surprising given that Trump tweeted about Bitcoin in mid-July. You'd think there'd be more of a bump, but there's not, so we're going to move on. Up next, we're going to add the data for stocks as a search term. And as you can see, it's just a relatively stable line, no crazy dips, no crazy spikes, just a constant. So something that's interesting here is that we are seeing a little bit of an eclipse even earlier on than now in December, right? And that's right when Bitcoin fell into recession under stocks during crypto winter, went into hibernation, yada yada. Now, again, according to this chart, interest for Bitcoin starts to climb during April, and that's when it starts to eclipse stocks once again. Now, that's the main story, but I wanted to give a little bit more context to this tight battle between the two terms, and for that, I've got another data line, this one showing the interest in searches for my dad. Now, far and away, it's no contest. Both stocks and Bitcoin both totally destroy my dad. My dad never had a chance, and while he'll always be my hero, my dad just wasn't interesting enough to compete. It is interesting to note that there's a little bump in interest. It's over there. You see it? A little bump in interest, but that's about mid-June. I'm assuming that's because we were getting into barbecue season, and people were probably looking for experts who could give some tips on the best grilling techniques. Now, finally, I wanted to give one final point of reference for all of this, and that is the search term Jesus. He is the man, the myth, the legend, religious icon who died for our sins 2,000 years ago, and as expected has enjoyed largely dominant interest in Google researches. But shockingly, here in June, there was a little bit of an eclipse from none other of these search terms than Bitcoin itself, of all things. It eclipsed the Son of God. Now, a lot of people say that Bitcoin is a scam, but here we see it has the capacity to be even more important than America's dominant religion. I think that says a lot about Bitcoin, and it says a lot about society. Now, I'm Zachy Hennessey. Stay tuned to BLOCKTV. Mimi, if you're watching this, the Jesus stuff was just a joke. I hope you and Grandpa are good. I'm going to call soon.
For more news and updates, follow us on Twitter.